Yeah, it's time.
Ancient Egyptians would be proud if they saw the trouble all of us went through to see their pyramids.
Pyramids, anyone? Pyramids?
From our ship anchored in the Red Sea, we had to use tenders to get to dry land. It took several hours and some help from the students just to get 700 of us to the dock.
I would be driving the boat that takes us from the ship into, oh God, into the port.
Yeah, there you go. Land it out. Pat it on the...
Once on land, we boarded 18 buses headed for Cairo. Our convoy was escorted by armed guards, just in case terrorists might try to attack us. After a brief lesson in Arabic,
from the north we have the Mediterranean Sea,
and a crash course on Egypt, we were on our way.
Within 2 hours, you will have the chance to see the pyramids of Egypt, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
Soon we arrived in Cairo, the most crowded city in the Middle East. And after crossing the River Nile, the longest river in the world, we caught a glimpse of the pyramids.
And you expected to find the pyramid in the middle of the desert.
Our convoy was late getting to Cairo, but we did make it for the Sound and Light show, and that's where we are right now. We didn't see the pyramids very well, but we got an earful from the Sphinx.
I am he, the Pharaoh,
who recounted for us the history of these ancient tombs, going back 4,500 years.
The world fears time, but time fears the pyramids.
The next morning, we got up before dawn and headed for the pyramids to see the sunrise, a view we will never forget.
Come on. Come on. Come on, ladies. It's one a camel. Hey there.
And who can forget the camel drivers, who took many of us for a ride.
Yeah, I gave him a lot.
In more ways than one.
Well, they would not let us off the camel. It was awful. Okay, I don't want to ride the camel.
They knew every trick in the book to get money from tourists.
You want to take my picture?
That's why everyone should have one of these.
That's for all the camel drivers. They're kind of rude.
Our camel has some issues.
Even with all the hassles, this felt like a dream come true.
Rocky's got nothing on this, Charles.
And at the foot of the pyramids, more than a few of us got a little carried away.
The sign that says no climbing means that there is no climbing. Get down off the pyramids.
I never saw a sign. I don't know what sign they're talking about.
Anybody that doesn't start climbing down right now is getting dock time.
And what's dock time to people who don't know?
Well, dock time is you can't get off the ship when we get into the next port. And so getting dock time is a big thing for students.
Once dock time's thrown out, you don't want to get dock time on a ship like this.
Ew, is that camel dung on your pant leg? Oh my God.
After a few more distractions, we got down to official business and learned about the 3 pyramids at Giza, the tombs of King Cheops, Khephren, and Macarius, all dating back to 2500 BC. This is the Great Pyramid, and it's the largest of the 3 here at Giza. And at the very base, it measures 755 feet, which is about 2.5 football fields. How would you describe the pyramids to people back home?
Huge. Terrific. You can never understand how huge they are until you actually go up and see it. And I kept, even driving past them, I kept saying, oh, they're not that big, until you get up next to it and the stone's half your size. And then you're like, wow, how did they do that?
5,000 years old.
Cool. Now we're going to descend into the tombs.
Many students were able to go into the Pyramid of Mycerinus, but anyone expecting to see mummies and buried treasures will be disappointed. Many of the artifacts have been stolen. The rest are in museums.
What was in the room?
Nothing. It was just empty space. But it's kind of, you have to think about it in the aspect that you're inside the pyramid, that you're actually in it.
What's amazing about these big pyramids at Giza is that each took about 2,300,000 stones to make, and each stone weighs about 2.5 tons. How they were built without the benefit of cranes or pulleys is still a mystery. What we do know is that each pyramid took about 20 years to construct, using 100,000 men working 3 months a year.
There is a much bigger miracle behind managing the work there, administrative miracle, I mean. You have to imagine that all the Egyptians at that time were farmers. They were not builders. They were not quite trained builders, but the pharaohs trained them to be good builders. How could they train 100,000? How could they, even the very simple things, how could they provide them with their meals 3 times a day in proper way?
These and other questions may never be answered. Another reason why the pyramids are called ancient wonders.
The pyramids will be always charming unless we uncover all the secrets around them. Since they are still mysterious, they will be always charming.
Aside from these pyramids at Giza, there are about 100 others left in Egypt that survived from the ancient times. And we're told that most of them are situated on the west bank of the Nile because that's where the sun sets, and that symbolizes death. But the pyramids themselves symbolize life and our dreams of immortality. Whether or not we have conquered death, at least the pyramids have. And just as Cleopatra walked past them 2,000 years ago, and we today, so might future generations 2,000 years hence.